Boston Celtics, despite displaying a lot of heart towards the back end of that game. Debo goes down, and next up, we got Washington. We're going to get into all that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. First-time users can receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. That's PrizePicks.com, promo code Locked On. That's Pat, the designer, host, and creator of the Windy City Breeze. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, the Bulls came up short against Boston. Now, in this game, to me, both teams shot the ball extremely inefficient over the course of the game. The difference is the Boston Celtics did play basically a full 4 quarters of pretty solid defense, whereas the Bulls, well, they turned it up second half of the game. Love the heart that they displayed with even after DeMar DeRozan went down. Love how Zach tried to shoulder the load and bring the team back. We just come up short in this game against the Celtics. How do you feel about it, brother?
You know what? Listen, this is a game where your stars became your stars, right? Nikola Vucevic had a really good game. Zach LaVine, of course, like you talked about, really got himself going in this game, right? This comes down to me at the end of the day to the other guys, right? Shout out Will Ferrell. And your other guys didn't step up. Once again, we have questions about Ayo Dosunmu and his ability to make a wide open layup. I mean, like at this point, it's like, hey, bro, like they open. You can make them. You know what I mean? Like at the park. And you know what? 2-game flash from P. Will isn't enough for me to feel great about him all of a sudden being the player that we hoped we got at the 4th pick in the draft. I'm not saying that means all of a sudden he's going to be gone or not, but you know what? Another night where I look at P. Will, I look at Ayo Dosunmu, and I say, hey, boys, not for nothing, but how about y'all step up a little bit defensively? How about y'all get some big stops here, and you turn that into some offense on the other end? There were moments of that, but it's not consistent. And when you're not giving me the offensive production, now I'm focusing in on the defensive production. What are you giving me on the defensive end? I can't say you gave me 4 quarters of defense. I can't say you gave me a solid 2 quarters of defense, if I'm being 100%. And those are the guys that I'm focusing in on. I know it seems like I'm picking on the young guys. Why haven't they developed? Why aren't they making these moves? But you know what? AK said they're going to take a step this year. That's why I'm picking on them. Because these are AK's guys. These are the guys that AK said have to make that big move, have to take that big leap, and they haven't. And you know what? In tonight's game, we were looking for you. We needed you. There were opportunities for you guys to get those shots at the end of the game, and you didn't take them. And you know what? I'm not going to exclude Kobe White from it either. Kobe White had a bad night. Now, Kobe White's played better for most of these games, but he wasn't able to knock down shots in this game. I believe 0 for 5 from the 3-point line tonight. Tough night. Tough nights happen. You need your other guys to step up for you, and they just didn't. And by the way, Alex Caruso, stop turning the ball up. Thank you.
This was a game in which it felt like the Boston Celtics got tons of offensive rebounds. They ended up with only 9. It felt like a lot more than that.
No, it's because it all happened on 2 plays.
Yeah, I said that.
It all happened on 2 plays, bro. Like it literally, it was just like, hey, man, they killed us on the boys tonight. Literally, you were like, oh no, they did it on like that play and that play.
Yeah, it was that one series in the 4th quarter where literally Boston had like 5 chances at to make the shot. They end up not, thank God. But like it was just like, the Bulls got to tighten that part of the game up, even though on paper it doesn't look like it was a lot. Like I said, neither team really shot the ball overly efficiently. 43% for Boston, 45% from the Chicago Bulls. And we'll talk about DeMar DeRozan and his possible injury down the stretch here. What do you think about even though he had a 21-13 game, what do you think about the play of Nikola Vucevic, who I've called has been one of our more consistent, if not our most consistent player this season, and how he was kind of nullified at points in this game, specifically in that first half?
You know what? I said this on the live stream tonight, and I truly believe this. And it's a very tough statement. When they call the game tough, Vooch does not step up to the plate. and players very similar to Vooch do not step up to the plate. If the NBA does continue to trend in the direction that I think that they're trending, right? I truly believe the NBA is trying to get back to tougher defense because of how well a lot of players score in this. And so they're trying to allow more plays to happen, more fouls to be called on the offensive end, or less fouls to be called defensively as players are going up for it. Players like Nikola Vucevic will quickly die out. Where, not to say the shooting big, the big that's down there with good footwork, right? That will be asinine. But the guys that can't deal with the contact and playing through it will die out.
I got to fight back on that because this game's becoming so European based, and a lot of them can't fight through things.
I disagree with that completely, because we saw literally when Team USA went over there, they were like, "We're gonna beat the heck out of you."
I'm talking
we're
about
gonna see how y'all deal with it.
I'm not talking about over because they play different there. I'm talking about the ones that come over in the NBA. Really, Jokic is the toughest one.
But that's
any
what
other
they want to get
European
back
big
to.
that we've had. Most European bigs that have come in this league don't really like contact consistently.
But that's what we're starting to get back to, right? Like, honestly, the NBA is trying to trend back towards that league where, not to say it's just like the 90s, right? Listen, some of the stuff, I love the 90s. Bulls were winning. We all know what the 90s was. It was assault. Like, at the end of the day, right? Some of the stuff was assault, right? Like, you should have called the police on some of these dudes. But I think you're starting to trend back towards that. And that's the thing with me with Vooch. There's and the tough part is it's hard for him to adjust. And maybe he can. Maybe he will be able to be that player, and I'm just not seeing it. But you're not seeing the game called the way the Celtics game is called tonight. I'm not even going to tell you that the refs called the game poorly. What I'll say is,
I didn't say that either. They didn't call it poorly. They
No,
called it unbalanced at times. But it wasn't.
I thought they called it consistent, just tough. You got to fight through that. You got to make that play. You got to, and when for most of the game for Vooch, he wasn't able to fight through that. And I thought that was the thing that stood out most to me.
Okay. All right. Spread was 9.5 on this game. Bulls end up winning by 8. I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm going to leave the conspiracy theories out of it. All I'm going to say is listen to what I'm saying. The spread was 9.5. The game finishes by 8. If I just continue, if you start seeing a trend in that, I'll let you come up with your own deductions at that point. But I'm just here to present the facts. That's all I'm here to do.
The best part is nobody can predict a game like Vegas.
Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Go back and look at some of the spreads and how close they were in other Bulls. I'm just presenting the facts. Yeah. And you guys come up with what you want to come up with based off that. Now, moving off the conspiracy aspect of it and the refereeing, the officiating, what did you think about the bench tonight? The bench has been a very big part of the Bulls wins. Okay, well, there you go. I agree with you fully. And you kind of touched on it when you said it. DeMar, Zach, and Vooch, for the most part, stepped up when needed. We got no help outside of those guys. None.
Yeah.
So
no, it was god awful. And here's the tough part, right? You have games like this.
Yeah.
They're bench players for a reason. They're supposed to step up. They're supposed to have their moments, but they're bench players for a reason. And you have games like this. That's the part where, right, when the losing, when we've seen what we've seen for most of the season comes in, Bulls fans have all the smoke for this team.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this was that game.
No, not to me. I hope not. I hope that some box score watchers may see this and try to pick it apart that way. But anybody who watched the game, I think they'd be hard pressed to feel like it's one of those games, especially with how the Bulls came back and fought in the last half of this game. And I want to give them that. Like you get a partial kudo for that because the first half effort, specifically about 8 minutes into the first quarter to about 3 minutes left in the second, it was bad, bro. It was bad.
Let me ask you this, right? Because we talked about, me and you both talked about, right, in the preview of this game, playing through Vooch, going down low, different things like that. Did Robert Williams change this game based on what we've seen from the Bulls and Celtics in the first 2 games?
Yes. The length. The length, if nothing else, it definitely gave Vooch some issues and kept them from really setting up through Vooch because Vooch didn't have time to set up. Robert Williams was on him.
Yeah. And
So-
I'm gonna be real with you. Were you upset by Billy's rotations in this game? Because I don't want to say I was upset.
They didn't make sense though.
You instantly saw that when Drummond came in the game, Robert Williams was eliminated.
Yeah.
And
He
we
looked
didn't
at
see
it-
much.
he
We didn't
looked at it
see
and
much
said-
Drummond.
No, we didn't. We only 12 minutes of Drummond tonight. So, yeah, we'll talk about that. Next up, though, we're going to talk about DeMar DeRozan, who did go down, ends up missing most of the second half. But first, got to talk to you guys about Prize Picks. So if you guys had expected Zach LaVine to score over 30 points again, you would have fell short. But do you know where you could have did that? You could have did that on Daily Fantasy Made Easy over in Prize Picks. So how does it work? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they'll go on to perform more or less than their Prize Picks projections, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. No competing against other people. It's just you versus the projections available. Prize Picks offers projections on any sport that you watch. This includes NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, PGA, college football, men's college basketball, women's college basketball, soccer, WNBA, esports, and more. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's just that easy. Save and fast withdrawals, currently operational in over 30 states and Canada. Download the Prize Picks app or go to prizepicks.com to sign up and play daily fantasy sports. First-time users can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100 with promo code Locked On. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you $100. If you deposit $50, Prize Picks will give you $50. Don't forget to enter promo code Locked On at sign up for instant deposit match of up to $100. All right, Pat. DeMar DeRozan goes down in this game. Do you think that the outcome of this game changes drastically if DeMar is in the game in that last period? And then B, he's already said that it was an injury he's been dealing with the last 8 games or so. They expect him. Casey Johnson said that they expect him to be able to play in DC in our next game. But what do you think the impact was of DeMar DeRozan being out in the fourth quarter in this game?
Is it wrong for me to say I thought the Bulls played better?
Well, I mean, if that's how you feel, nobody can say it's wrong. I do think that there are going to be some people that disagree with that.
I don't think that DeMar DeRozan wasn't missed. And that's the part that I think is crucial to say to this. DeMar DeRozan was missed.
Mm-hmm.
But if Kobe White knocks down his shots, if Ayo Dosunmu knocks down his shots, Zach LaVine puts your team in a great position to win this game.
Okay.
By himself. And then Vooch came in. I felt like Zach LaVine tried to give his team the opportunity to make plays without him. And then when he realized they couldn't, he went to the bucket. He got buckets. Those are the moments where you need the one-on-one player. You need the one-on-one ball. You need the one-on-one shots, different things like that, right? That's where I feel like DeMar DeRozan was missed. But Zach LaVine gave everybody an opportunity. P. Will, Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu, Nikola Vucevic, an opportunity to take advantage of open shots. And Vooch is the only one that did. The Bulls' offense looked better without DeMar DeRozan. Not to say that the team winning this game was better without DeMar or coming down to the close without DeMar. I think there's still a place on this team for DeMar. I do. I believe that. I think you have to find that. But I think you saw what life without DeMar could look like. And while the Bulls didn't come out with the win in this one, you might need to write some better players for him to pass to. Zach LaVine did not let down, in my opinion.
Yeah, Zach LaVine, no. The way that Zach played down the stretch of this game is everything. Yeah, he's not the verbal rah-rah leader. He is somebody who does try to go out and prove it on the court. Mm-hmm. I like what he did. One of those shots, I will say, I would have liked him to see some more. When the Bulls were down by 2, when he went for a 3, I would have liked to see maybe allow Vooch to come over for the pick in that situation. But I understand why he did it. I mean, this is just hindsight, right? Yeah. But that's really the only thing that I can point to of Zach down the stretch. Like you said, he did everything.
Do you like that? Do you like the mid-range shot? The step back, pull up midi to try and tie the game up.
Midi, yes.
I like that.
Shot.
Okay.
I like that shot.
Okay.
I like that shot. Because Zach usually hits that. especially in mid-range. So I like the percentages that he usually shoots that at. I like the way that he tried to attack it. And, honestly, if I'm not mistaken, it was Vooch. Maybe it was P. Will. Honestly, I even understand him stepping back to try to take that shot because one of the Bulls players was in position to possibly get the rebound.
I believe it was P. Will, but yeah,
Okay.
he was down there. He tipped it around. I mean, it was a tip out that went down for a 3 on the other end. But you know what I mean? Yeah, you had a guy rebounding. I thought it was a good shot.
So, yeah, I mean, he played the percentages on that one. And, shout out to Zach because we really haven't seen a Zach like that in a minute, right? So, shout out to him there. I think if this same game plays out the exact same way at that point when Zach had the midi to try to tie the game, I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, I think Zach hits that shot.
I think the only reason he missed it is normally we see that shot at the free throw line.
Yeah.
I really do. I said that on the Breeze post game show. I said that during the live call. Me and Kid both agree. I don't hate that shot. I thought that offensively, the IQ of the Chicago Bulls, and I've said this. I believe I said this on the post game show, or not on the post game, on the preview. I think the IQ of the Chicago Bulls has been better because the IQ of Zach LaVine has been better in these last 11 or 12 games or so. But you know what? I felt like offensively without DeMar DeRozan, and not to say I want to see the Bulls without DeMar, but I thought the Bulls played better. And the fact that DeMar goes down, it is tough. It's a blow. I'll tell you this Bulls team without DeMar is nowhere near the playoff team that in our minds and our hopes and our dreams that we think they are. That's just a fact. You're not top 6. You're not top 5 without DeMar DeRozan on this lineup. But the question to me comes in where how do you continue to see what you saw while implementing DeMar being the player that we've hoped? Me and you have talked about that many times on this show. DeMar has to be that assassin. And can he be that same level of player? And I'm going to be real with you, right? You said he was struggling. He's been struggling this for what, 8 games, essentially, the hamstring injury. Yeah. By the way, heck of a sell job by DeMar trying to get the foul. I'm not gonna lie.
DeMar's getting better at that, right? Academy Award may be coming for DeMar DeRozan. I was like, DeMar, come on, bro.
He got stuck mid-cross and just said, Right, you're not gonna call that? But what I will say is this. DeMar DeRozan, to me, you need him in this lineup 110. You need him in this lineup healthy. No matter what you think about this team, no matter how you feel this offense runs with him, you have to work through that. And you don't want to see, I don't believe you want to see an offense where Zach LaVine starts to say, okay, now I can just run the offense myself and DeMar comes back. I think that will create the rift that has been talked about with this Bulls team.
You think that's going to create a rift?
I think that creates the offensive rift where, not to say Zach LaVine won't be successful by himself, but I don't know if you're as successful as you are with DeMar. But if you see that success start to happen, guess what? Right, very, very similar to the team we just played. Boston saw success without Kyrie Irving. When Kyrie came back, Jason Tatum is on tape saying, I thought we didn't need him. And after the years went by, he was like, we needed him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think that that's a situation that could be created here. Not to say that Zach LaVine and DeMar won't love each other, won't have that brotherhood for each other. But you know what? I think there will be more offensive ball movement. I don't know if that will lead to more wins. And because I don't think there's as much talent here without DeMar. But I think that there will be a feeling of, hey, we move the ball better without you. And that's what we want to do.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, and I actually was asked about this over on Chicago Bulls Central. I don't know if it was the pre-record. I kind of just got there on my own. Is that it's easy to say. I know the ball movement the ball does seem to flow a little bit better with DeMar not out there on the court, right? And somebody could even say that Patrick Williams, with having more opportunities, 16, maybe 18 points per game, but that's not going to be winning basketball, at least not right away. I hope it doesn't create a rift. I don't think that's the way it's going personally, but You never know. Weirder things have happened in sports.
Hey, listen, and you have to throw that caveat in there, right? Listen, the ball moved better without Kobe Bryant on the floor with Derek Fisher.
It's like, all right,
that's
well,
what y'all want.
exactly. Shout out to better ball movement and less wins. That's what that is. Hey, that ball's moving.
That ball is on a dime. This is what Phil wants.
The wins ain't coming. The wins
Kobe,
ain't
get
coming.
your butt back in there. Kobe, get in there. You know what I mean? So I think there is that caveat, right? Your team is not good enough to win a lot of these games without DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has won you a lot of these games. I want to make sure I'm giving him his credit. But what I will say is the offense did look better without DeMar. That does not mean, you know why that's still a problem, though? People didn't knock down the shots. Io didn't knock down the shots. Kobe didn't knock down the shots. You know when you pass him the ball, who knocks down the shots? DeMar DeRozan. Unless it's a three. There's a 28% chance that's going to go in. That's the only time where it's tough, man. But hey, we got to preview what we got coming up, man. I mean, we got the Wizards coming up. But before we do that, we do want to tell you guys about Bet Online. BetOnline.net is still, Haize, it's still your number one source for all your sports betting info, stats, news, and analysis. You can get the latest odds trends for every professional and amateur league out there. That's right, Haize. You can even get it for your bowling league over at the Y. From pro football to college bowl season, basketball, and World Cup, we've got it all here at betonline.net. And hey, if you want or if you love your sports podcast and you want to hear more of them, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. They are the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. Head to the website today and use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, it is where the game starts. Don't you hit that button yet, Haize, because I got to tell them about TurboTax. I got a double ad read this week, my boy.
You actually got to work? Look at God.
Look at God out there. Okay, brother. Hey, listen. First off. Second off, hey, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to go to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. I need you to meet with an expert who will do them for you. TurboTax experts can relieve you from stress, taxes, and file for you so you can do not taxes. Show your eyes things that are not taxes. Unpack moving boxes of not taxes. Taste of not taxes. Sing not taxes. A lullaby. Hope not taxes. Sleeps through the night. Grab a saddle and ride not taxes into the sunset. Is that a
pause?
Ad read. Hey, I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it on the ad read. Haize, brother, come on now. Hey, here's the thing: with TurboTax, you gotta have that button ready though, so you can just press it. With TurboTax, an expert will do your taxes for you from start to finish, ensuring your taxes are done right, guaranteed, so that you can relax and feel good to be done with your taxes. Here's the thing. You go to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Visit TurboTax.com and learn more. Intuit TurboTax, the full service and products only video meeting while experts does your taxes while it Haize, you wrote this, didn't you? Full service products only video meeting while experts do your taxes, and you can see guaranteed details about TurboTax at turbotax.com/guarantees. That is turbotax.com/guarantees while somebody does your taxes.
Can we bet on Prize Picks the over under for the word taxes on the show?
The line is set at 7.5 on taxes, bro. I'm taking the over.
I'm taking the over on that every day, all day.
Taking the over.
So with the threat of DeMar DeRozan possibly being out in the next game, we got Washington coming up next, bro. If DeMar does miss this game, how do you see the Bulls faring without having him?
I think they could win, right? Like, listen, the reason that we won the last time versus did we win? We won the last time versus the Wizards, right? The reason we won the last time versus the Wizards, let me double check that, is that being able to play down low, being able to attack versus Kristaps Porzingis, Kyle Kuzma, right? Listen, I'm all in favor, by the way, of a Kyle Kuzma just coming home on the plane with us. Come on, Kyle, come our way. But at the end of the day, I think this is a winnable game. I think this is a game. Did we lose versus the Mugs?
Against who?
The Wizards.
Yeah, we lost against the Wizards.
We did lose against them. I just thought about that. We had a game-winning opportunity, didn't we?
I think so.
But the biggest thing to me to win versus the Wizards is just to continue to establish that threat down low. Don't let this game dictate you. Don't let this game versus Boston dictate you to me. I felt like the Bulls didn't go to Vooch at all in this game. It really didn't feel like we went to Vooch. I thought Vooch knocked down some threes, but it didn't feel like, hey, we've got Vooch down low. Let's go to him. And that's a problem. And because that's the identity of this team.
I agree. You got to get Vooch involved. You got to keep him involved. You have to allow him to use that. He has the best basketball IQ usually of any player on the court.
Yeah.
And so you want to put him in those positions, but it really did seem like Billy Donovan saw that matchup with Robert Williams. Like, no, we don't want none of that. We're gonna need that, especially if DeMar is not in the game against the Washington Wizards.
I felt like Vooch felt that way too.
I'm not.
That's the tough part for me, right? Like I felt like Vooch felt that way, where literally it was like, "Hey, he got it. I'm not going down there. Like, he got it." And we've seen that consistently in these games. We've seen that consistently with Vucevic, where he wants to shoot the threes when you've got that big matchup, because that's an advantage that he does have versus a lot of those big body matchups, right? They don't get out to him as quick, especially when they're moving the ball. He passes the ball really well. He can get it off the pick and pop, pick and roll, different things like that. Here's the thing for me. Who else is going to step up? That's the question that I have for the chat. That's the question I have for you. Who else is going to step up?
If I had to guess, if I had to bet my money on it, only because typically when he starts in that position, he has performed, I'm going to say Kobe. I'm going to say Kobe steps up if DeMar does miss the next game.
That's a problem.
Hey, listen, I understand it.
I'm with you. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Because you know what? At the number 4 pick, you drafted a hell of an Otto Porter Jr. Yeah, you know what? I can't even say that. It's disrespect to Otto Porter. Otto Porter can give you 10 when he's healthy. That's a problem.
Well, Patrick Williams gives you 10 too, bro. That's the problem there. So he gives you 10. But he gives you 10. I guarantee he gives you 10 on 5 less shots than Otto Porter too.
I mean, listen, I watched Otto Porter in the NBA Finals knock down big threes that we needed. You know, what I mean?
You talking about that Otto Porter? You talking about now Otto Porter? I'm talking about Otto Porter today.
I'm talking about. I don't know where he's at. Where is he at right now? Is he
what
playing
team
trash?
Does he play on?
Where?
Hey, this offseason.
Hey, that's the problem though. With Otto Porter holds out. Where's he at? Where is he? No, I really want Patrick Williams to be successful. I really do. But when mentally you see Debo go out and you don't say, my turn, that's concerning. When mentally you see your next best, the guy that we've said is taking shots away from you, right? Me and you both got on here and said, hey, listen, I love that Debo's cussing him out, but how about you passing the ball? Zach LaVine gave you the ball. You didn't shoot it. You didn't attack. I'm okay with you not shooting a 3 every time. Attack. You didn't attack. You didn't get into the bucket. That's my problem. And I do think Kobe White will be the player that steps up and does the most. But you know what? I wasn't expecting the number 7 overall pick from 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
To be the guy that we would be talking about as the dude that steps up versus our number 4 overall pick 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had to make sure.
Right.
I was like, listen, we had a lot of high picks in a row.
A lot of 7s in there, bro.
A lot of sevens, bro. I swear I don't remember when Lowry showed up and when Wendell showed up. But no, I just, same dude, but not at all. But no, that's my concern as we're moving forward. And if it's not P. Will, why isn't it?
Listen, I don't care about none of that. I hear what you're saying. I don't care about none of that right now. I care about the dubs. I don't give a damn if it's Tony Bradley that steps up. As long as somebody steps up and we get a dub, I don't care about all that. We can deal with that. That's AK's problem. My problem right now is seeing this team get some dubs. I don't care who needs to step up. I don't care if we need to hire the ball boy, aka Marko Simonovic. I don't know what we need to do. But as long as we walk out with a dub, at this point, that's all I care about, bro. Like,
and here's the tough part. I think we will either way.
Yeah.
Kobe White steps up. P. Will steps up. Me and you both come in here. We're excited. I think we've got a W either way versus the Wizards. I think the tough team for us because, right, Bill's still out, right? Bill's, is he back? Is he back for this game?
I have no idea.
We might want to look that up. He's probably the important piece here. So as of right now, the injuries, Beal is out with a hamstring. Gafford is a game time decision with an ankle, but that could change over the next couple of days. DeMar DeRozan, of course, game time decision with the quad. Javante's still listed as out with the knee, but they haven't updated anything. Bradley's got COVID. Lonzo's out with a knee.
All right. Well, there you go. But that's it for us for today, brother.
Hey, man, follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Bears got the #1 overall pick. That's what we're holding on to here. And I got 36 inches.
And the Packers lost.
And the Packers lost,
bro. It was the best ending possible to where we were at that point.
And here's the tough part. Because this is Chicago chat, even though like Bulls, but we know we carry over the bit. Am I? Should I seek counseling because I really like Jamal Williams?
Yes, anyway you should.
Of course, that's for different reasons though. Should I seek counseling because I like Jamal Williams though?
Yes.
I love this dude.
Yes.
He's the Detroit running back, but I love this dude.
Yes, you should. But nonetheless, you can follow me at CEO Haize, CEO Haize. And thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls and making us your first listen every day. Now for your next listen, go and check out Game to Game NBA. Every moment, every top performance, every result. Locked On Game to Game covers every game from across the NBA with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NBA, available on the Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. For Pat the Designer, this is Haize. We on Locked On Bulls. Peace, y'all.